this Monday, June the 5th edition of the Ringside Report. I am Ryan Young. Joining me on, or no, not joining me on the phone. See, used to that habit. Tony out again for this Monday. His work, he wasn't able to let him get out. So change of plans for this show overall. Tony will be back on Wednesday. But change of plans for this show, where instead of doing, usually we start off with the Extreme Rules wrap up and SSW. Like I said, Tony's work schedule kept us from doing anything like that. So we'll have the Extreme Rules wrap up coming, and I was at the Cub game. So the Extreme Rules wrap up will be on Wednesday's show, and we will also recap Raw as well. So the Extreme Rules wrap up will happen, but it'll be on Wednesday's show instead of Monday's. So you know, you'll enjoy it as much as you normally do. We're going to recap Impact here to start segment 1. We're going to start off as EC3 comes out and says, of course, he is the #1 contender for the Impact World title. Therefore, he will get the opportunity against Lashley coming up at Slammiversary on July the 2nd. Alberto El Patron then comes out, charges out there, and then Bruce Pritchard said this isn't going to happen, and then Bruce Pritchard says tonight for the Global Force Wrestling World title, it's going to be EC3 against Alberto El Patron, and to spice it up just a little bit more, the winner will face Lashley at Slammiversary. Impact Grand title on the line, Moose defeats Eli Drake, and I think in a match that Eli Drake should have won. I thought he had a dominating first round matchup. The judges were I can't even think their name. Bruce Pritchard was one, the guy with the mustache, We the People, and then the one guy that used to be with Team Canada. But Moose defeats Eli Drake. Allie gets a win in her match. Then you have and then a Global Force Wrestling Tag Team titles. It was Veterans of War losing to LAX. They are now the tag team and are the Global Force Wrestling and the TNA or Impact Tag Team champions. Impact Dark Division title low-key retains against Andrew Everett. Then in your main event for the Global Force Wrestling World title, Alberto El Patron defeats EC3. Therefore, it is the main event now for Slammiversary has been changed. It will now be Alberto El Patron getting an opportunity for the Impact World title against Bobby Lashley. So it'll be champion versus champion. Only one of them titles will be on the line. So now what happened? EC3 did this whole heel turn thing. So now what happens? What does he do from here? It's going to be interesting to see what they do now, because of course it has been very, very odd about everything that he's done. So I think now, well, where does it go from here? I think EC3's had I think it's been a stale heel turn to start, so we'll see if he'll be able to kind of get the ball rolling a little bit here, and maybe it's going to be a rematch with James Storm. Maybe that's going to continue to pick up. So I think there's things when you look at it from that way, or you could look at it from the other way, where it's going to be possibly him getting in there, or it's going to be a triple threat match. But I think right now they should leave the billing as it is, as a one-on-one match for the champion versus champion. But I think maybe they should even put the Global Force Wrestling World title on the line, and the winner becomes a double champion. I mean, why not? I mean, after all, you might as well. I mean, Impact, I think it's going to be hard. They're going to have to lure people in to buy this pay-per-view. And I mean, I'm going to be probably one of the ones that watch it for free online. So, I mean, you got to try to, if you're going to try to get people to watch your pay-per-view for something that you can barely watch on TV, it's going to be tough. But I think definitely the Josh Matthews, Jeremy Borash thing, I'm starting to be sold on that. I was annoyed by it at first, but I'm back on board, so hopefully that'll continue as well. So Impact, and I'm starting next week. They're doing a month of shows in India, so that should be exciting leading up to Slammiversary coming up on July the 2nd. We're going to take a time out when we come back. We're going to preview Raw tonight from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. That's next on the Ringside Report. Time to preview Raw for tonight in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. And of course, Monday Night Raw has been stale as of late. Hopefully they can get it back on. Of course, Extreme Rules last night. We'll have the recap of that one. We'll have the recap, like I said, the wrap-up coming up to open up Wednesday's show. But I think the thing right now is that right now, when you look at Raw going in, it's going to be the fallout, the aftermath of what took place last night in Extreme Rules. Now, of course, when you look at all the matches from top to bottom, but one question before we get into that is, who attacked Enzo Amore? Now, of course, they keep doing, and they're kind of hyping it that it's Dash and Dawson, but I honestly don't think it's going to be him. I think what I've heard is from stuff online is that I think it's going to be Cass. Mainly because I think because now that the Hardys have taken over as the top tag team in WWE and on Raw, I think now they have the opportunity to be able to have them two guys kind of be their own. Now, Cass can't talk. So I think that's the only problem you might have. Enzo's going to be able to get the upper hand mic skills-wise. So I think hopefully we'll, so I think these two will have a good, I think that might lead into SummerSlam. So maybe we'll get an opportunity to see it then. But I mean, if they do the turn now, but I think they're going to continue to build on that to see where that goes between those two. But I think it's got to be Enzo, or Cass turning on Enzo, and really to make a very good storyline going into the summer and breaking them two up. Because, I mean, there's really nothing else them two guys can do, really. Then you look at the other matches, of course. Let's take a look. I got the card right here of what took place last night. Raw Women's title, Kendo stick on a pole, Alexa Bliss, Bayley. Who's walking in the women's champion? I think, again, it's after that terrible way to go into this match, after the This Is Your Life. I think them two need to go out and prove it. And who's walking in? I think Bayley. I don't think she's going to get that title back. I think Alexa Bliss has done a very good job with the title. She's a very good heel. So I think why stop that now? So I think Alexa Bliss is probably over. Cruiserweight title, submission match. Austin Aries better be walking in as the Cruiserweight champion. We've seen this match at WrestleMania. We saw the match at Payback. Now we're getting an opportunity to see it our last night at Extreme Rules. So hopefully that'll end this storyline. I know they're trying to build it up, and I think you have the top two Cruiserweights doing that. But I think seeing the same match over and over, but adding the last night, adding the submission match to it, I think may have sparked it up just a little bit more. So hopefully Austin Aries walks in. Tag team titles, you got to think the Hardys are walking in over Sheamus and Cesaro. I think them two have done I think the Hardys continue to don't look like they're going to be doing their gimmick of the broken, so they're going to continue to be Team Extreme. Even though I posted on Twitter, I think Matt Hardy is kind of in the middle of the Team Extreme thing and still doing, still kind of being broken as well. And of course that'll be in a Cage. That was in a Cage Intercontinental title. I think Dean Ambrose is probably over on The Miz. And then Roman Reigns. I mean, my pick. I picked. Tony picked Seth Rollins. I picked Finn Balor. And I said, don't be surprised if the Black Horse or the dark horse in this match is Samoa Joe. And going in, I believe Saturday night. Saturday night, I believe there was a lot of rumors that Samoa Joe did win it. Of course, you guys already know if Samoa Joe already walked out on top. But I think when you look at this, I think Samoa Joe would be a great matchup. I mean, you got kind of two heels, but I think they'd probably root for Samoa Joe over Brock Lesnar. But could that? But I mean, seeing two powerhouses go at one another, I think it would be very, very exciting, and hopefully we get that opportunity to see that if that is the case. But I think Finn Balor as well. But, I mean, does anyone really want to see that against Brock Lesnar? Because at this point, Brock's not dropping the title, so why do it right now? And then, of course, Bray Wyatt, I don't think he's getting back in it. Seth Rollins would be good on Roman Reigns. I think they're saving that for WrestleMania in New Orleans, so we'll see what happens. But the Extreme Rules, all the fallout coming up tonight from Wilkes-Barre, Tennessee. We're taking Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. We're taking time out when we come back. Time to preview Smackdown for tomorrow from Rochester, New York. That's next on the Ringside Report. Welcome back here on the Ringside Report for this Monday. I'd like to remind you, Ringside Report 500 coming in less than 3 weeks away, as we'll be at the Disney Boardwalk in Orlando, Florida. We're going to have the best post-show moments. We're going to have we have about a lot of announcements. A lot of announcements to catch you up on, and of course, stay tuned to the end because the biggest announcement of all will take place here from Studio One. I will be talking to you guys, and I will unveil the announcement. That is Friday, June the 16th. Plus, we'll also do a tribute, kind of, as we got an opportunity when we were in Orlando to go to the Pulse nightclub memorial, of course, where the shooting took place last summer. It was surreal to be there, and we'll give you an in-depth look at that. That is all coming up Friday, June the 16th. As Ringside Report 500. I mean, we started on Monday, December the 2nd of 2014. And to already be in our 13, and to already be closing in on 500 episodes, never would have thought it. So I'd like to thank everyone for that opportunity as well. Let's preview SmackDown for tomorrow night, as it's going to be in Rochester, New York. I think it's going to be interesting to see because, of course, they're still building Money in the Bank. Now, of course, you got two Money in the Bank matches coming in. You got the one that I think is going to be very star-studded. And, of course, a lot of people, including me, think it's going to be Baron Corbin because I think he's the guy that's going to get that push that everyone's going to kind of feel, okay, he's the guy now. But there's a lot of guys in that match to be able to build him up. So I think that is going to be a very big key here to try to see if they can be able to lift, to kind of build him up. Now, Baron Corbin in the ladder, being such a big guy, doesn't really seem like it can go together as much, but I think a great opportunity for him, and I think he's got the opportunity to win that. I mean, you got AJ Styles, you got Shinsuke Nakamura, so I think you got the guys, you got the keys to be able to make it an unbelievable match, and I think they're going to keep on building that in the weeks to come before we get ready for, which will be on Father's Day, Money in the Bank, so should be exciting. Also, the women's Money in the Bank, so of course, I think I mean, Charlotte's probably going to be the one, is my prediction. But I think it sucks. Naomi didn't get a chance to defend the title at Backlash. She's not getting an opportunity to defend the title at Money in the Bank. So I'm not really sure when they plan on letting her defend her women's title. And, I mean, with the 5 women, Tamina, I don't think, I mean, she's a powerhouse, I guess you could say. But I wouldn't say exactly that she's the one that's going to come in here and win this match. And then you also have, who else? You got Naomi, you got Carmella, who, I mean, James Ellsworth might play a factor, or he could cost it and win this match for her. So, I mean, you could look at it that way as well. So I think the pick right there has to be Charlotte. Charlotte's eventually going to get back to the top of the mountain. Hasn't gotten that opportunity since coming over from Raw in the what was it, a mix-up trade, whatever. So I think giving her the opportunity on Smackdown is going to be very big, and I think she's going to get that opportunity, and I think that is the best step and the best way for her to do that, is to be able to do that and get that Money in the Bank, and probably cash it very quick. I mean, you never know. I mean, you've seen people hold it for a very long time, but you've also seen it where guys don't hold it or cash it in that night, like Kane has been able to do, Dean Ambrose has been able to do, so we'll see how that stems out as well. So I think you're going to see more build-up for them 2 matches, and of course with the Intercontinental title, or the U.S. title in that as well with Kevin Owens. So I'm not sure how many more matches they're going to be able to do, because I mean, probably both of them, maybe a half hour, 45 minutes long. So that's about an hour and a half of the pay-per-view, but still got to fill some stuff up. Maybe the winner of that Money in the, because if it's not really a Money in the Bank, if they don't say it, maybe the winner gets a shot later on in the night. So we'll see you there. So the build-up to Money in the Bank will continue tomorrow night in Rochester, New York for SmackDown. Of course, you know, Raw is tonight, 7 p.m. on the USA Network. And SmackDown tomorrow night, 7 p.m. USA Network. That's going to do it. Preview for Wednesday, we are going to have the Extreme Rules wrap-up. You'll get the standings update going into Money in the Bank. Plus, we'll recap Raw. Plus, we'll preview Ring of Honor, NXT, and Impact. Their first time in India should be exciting for that. And, of course, Tony should be joining me. And he's been off for it's time for the vacations to end. Tony's back. We'll see you Wednesday. I'm Ryan Young, so thank you for watching the Ringside Report. Your front row seat to all things wrestling.